Okay, so we cut this piece here and we cut another piece back here. I think I might do one more right here, but I cut this piece too. Been playing with the fitment on this because we're gonna have to do the exhaust port. Gonna have an elbow that's just gonna fit through here. And we're gonna have to turn it. I would think go straight up with it and then shoot it that way out of the wall. Yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of to get it out there. Pretty tight on space here to do the manifolds. But yeah, we've been moving the screw here. I think this is gonna be a sweet spot right there. But we got that hanger screw, we can level it. Hopefully that elbow we can get. We don't have the elbow yet, so if I gotta clearance this out, I can. But we got the 3.5s holding everything. We'll have to put an outlet over here. Plug that in. So we can throw one there. And then probably stub up the water line right underneath it. So we picked up a piece of 3/4 PEX. We got our gas right here. We're still pulling that line. It's really tough to get it to where we need to go. We're almost there, but we're gonna tee that like that. And we could punch through there, come through this stud, come out, loop it down into the gas. That looks like a regular 3/4 NTP, which would be nice, not having to get another fitting or line. The line is like $50. We already have a big roll of this. I mean, we gotta do the grill section too, but we probably have enough. I'd rather make it work and then deal with the grill. So we're short. Well, we're not short, but we gotta keep pulling. That was a nightmare getting through that. We killed a right angle attachment, bought another one, and then I did a homemade extension and then smoked that socket. Just able to get through it, through all those tight spots from underneath the stairs. But we got our manifold. I'm gonna snake that up in and tie into this right here, this top one. Then we're gonna do the grill one with what's left over, go down in the crawl space, punch through under the deck. This stuff's supposed to be indoors too, so we might have to transition the pipe, but we'll figure it out. We got the drip cap right here for sediment, and we can pressure test it off of that. The heater, we measured, it's 18 inches. It's offset to the right. So if we center it on that wall, that's where it's going to be, just to the right there. We got the fireplace. Had her pick a spot, so we put it right here. We got more fittings. Shut-offs. Maybe I'll use that 3/4. I don't know if that'll work. We'll have to look. We'll have to look if that'll work or not, because we need a gas one. Yeah, all the different threads and whatnot. But we'll see if that one will work. This is like a... This one works with PEX, and I believe it's like a shark bite fitting. You push to connect type deal. So that has 2 shutoffs. Got more nail plates. These compression or expansion sleeves. These are for the bends. Cutter. And the plan is going from the 1-inch black plastic, this double barb we're going to put in the crawl space. And then I got the one with the mounting hole here. So after we splice more of the black plastic, stub up through the floor, put this on, and then we were able to get a 3/4 brass another $20 fitting. This right here. So that'll reduce it to 3/4 right there, and then we go to the 1-inch PEX into the tankless water heater. So that's kind of where we're at. So probably gonna have to put OSB over here or more framing and have it come down. Gonna be banging my head on this, but we'll have to put a manifold set up here and just start running lines out. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm gonna screw this in more. Okay, so put that in to match the height on the other ones, so that can plug in here. We got regular Teflon we're gonna run on this. We got the gas style for Teflon tape for that. So we're gonna start with this. We're gonna wrap it so the Teflon so it tightens. So I always have to check it a million times, but let's see if we can prop this up. So when we tighten that, it'll tighten it. So we're gonna take this thing off. Okay, so that's good. That can go back in. I'm gonna get it hand tight, and then we're gonna snug it with the wrench or the channel locks here. Be careful with brass; it's so soft. Let's see if that fits on it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start with that. I don't want to break it. Okay, I'm gonna get this piece. So that thing. Yeah, so it's got little tabs. So I'll throw some on this now. Check our direction here. So okay. So we're gonna want the shut off like that. So I'll put the big boy on it. So we gotta check this. Probably actually gonna turn that. Because that next piece, this is pressure release valve thingy. So we're gonna want that on this over here. So turn this. Yeah, we might have to tighten that and go one more rotation. Okay. God, I hate brass. Try that. I'm going to take this pressure release valve and screw it in over here. Oh, just shy. Alright, we're going to do one more turn. We don't want to break that. Press. Okay. One more. That's that. Now we're going to do the cold. The gas, I feel like we need another fitting. We need a full 3/4 shut off. So we got to look at the store again because we get the fitting to go to 3/4 to connect to it, but the shut off turns it to 5/8, and then we're doing 3/4 here. So if we could just have a 3/4 to 3/4, do the CSST and snake it in through here, I think that would be the way to go. So we got this here. I don't really want to connect all the PEX yet. You know, I could convert it to the PEX, but until we get the manifold, I don't want to cut it and have to redo it. Okay, so yeah, let's get Teflon on this other one here. So we're gonna hold this up. Let's see if this little guy fits on it. Nope. Okay, I don't want to break it. Going with that. Connect this. Another one on here. We're gonna call that good. Okay. I gotta figure out what goes on this pressure release valve. Looks like there's pipe threads there. So I guess we'll move on to, I don't want to stick this in yet till we have a game plan on the manifold. But we gotta extend that black line. Oh. Well, we're changing it, so we're gonna move it over here. So as much as that's a pain, the piping is all stainless. It's expensive, and it's like it doesn't make sense to buy two $80 elbows, and then I mean you need over 6 feet this way versus going over here. We can put it to the right as much as possible, do an elbow, and then buy a short piece, and then go through the wall, and the venting's done. Gas, we can, either do a new 3/4 line um, or cut into this one. So we'll make that work. I can reduce, get an adapter, go from 3/4 to half, and leave this alone, and then run a new 3/4 for that. Probably going to make the most sense. And then everything's got its own line. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So I just screwed this piece in. I got another one cut right here. We're gonna measure it up and mount that. So kind of a pain, but it is what it is. And another reason too is doing the math on the manifold. We're gonna need a 24 port manifold, which takes up room. So if we do the tankless water heater right here, we can do the manifold over here, and we got a 2x6 wall, which is a lot better trying to run PEX to everything than the 2x4 thin stuff over here. Even if it's 1/2 inch, you got a million holes. So that's kind of the reasoning behind it. And I mean, this crawl space too, I mean, you know, it's closet space, but this, you know, this little section won't really get used besides going in the crawl space, any maintenance or any water stuff. You still have closet space all the way from here over. So yeah, so that's the game plan. So I'm gonna screw that other piece in and get it moved over here, and then we'll have to get the elbow and probably a short length of stainless to punch through the wall and whatever kind of vent or flashing we need. So, but not the end of the world, just some 2x6 that got chopped, and I can back those screws out, so it's not the end of the world. But either way, I had to put the other stuff on. So yeah, so let me screw this other one in. We'll get it mounted. Yeah, so we got a ball valve for the gas fitting I got to put on. I forget where I left off filming, but we moved it over here so we could vent it out that way. The termination kit came, so I just slipped the elbow on. So the elbow's at a 94-degree bend, so it's meant to be sloped down. And some people, they put this on first and then they mount the water heater. So we got some adjustment. If we have to move this around, we can. This is kind of where we want it. So if we have to tweak it, we can. But it looks like we got enough room here that this piece right here can go out. And this is kind of like a double wall chimney pipe, but it's one of those things that's different. It's the middle pipe is the intake for air. Or sorry, the outside pipe is the intake for air, and the inside one is the exhaust. So one draws air in, one shoots exhaust out. So that's how it works. And it says 6-inch hole in the paperwork that came with the kit. So we're starting small. This is just a template to mark here. So we took a piece of 3-inch leftover ABS and I cut it. We have metal siding too, so we're gonna see how this lands, if I have to angle this at all. I mean, I'm trying to keep it straight out, but we're gonna look up any kind of clearance here. We got a stud here we could notch out if we have to. But yeah, so I'm gonna just try to center that like that best I can and transcribe a mark right here once I'm happy with it. And we're going to cut it small and then work our way out. And said 6-inch hole. So, but I want to keep it as small as I can. You can always trim the plywood out too, because we got metal siding, so it's not combustible. So, yeah, let me mark this and we'll go from there. But that's the thing. We have metal siding, and the flashing kit that came with it's just flat. So depending on where the ridges are, I could trim the outside ideally. If not, we're gonna have to work around it. So, but I think I'm gonna start with just a small hole, so we can see where the center point is, where it's gonna land, and then work our way from there. So yeah, let me trace this and put this down. Okay, so I marked that. According to the directions, you go up 9.5 from the top of the water heater and then cut a 6-inch circle. So we're gonna mark this and then go 9 inches out.
Yes,
9.5 inches, okay.
correct from the, yeah, not from the flue, but from the top of the.
I'm glad I leveled this water heater too. All right, so that mark is the top. And yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice little O-ring in there. This is a tricky location here, but it's still better than the other one.
And would it help if we put the cover on the crawl space?
No, because it's up high here. I'm just trying to get this next mark here. Oh. Okay. There we go. I don't know. I don't love that.
Okay, I'm just telling you what the directions say.
Because if I dry fit it, and this circle, this 9.5.
Did you account for the angle?
Yeah. Does it say that's to the top of it? Because if you...
That's to the middle of it.
That's to the middle. That looks like way off. That looks way off.
Well, I'll leave it up to you. We just
No.
can't afford a massive hole.
No, I know. That's why we're gonna do a small hole to start, but I'll stick it back on and we'll just try again, but I almost think doing the pipe's gonna be more accurate. Let me try again here. Let's see. Yeah, so it comes with 2 of these right here to trim it out, and says 0 inches to combustibles. I'm gonna give a little bit of space because I don't want to do 0. You going up the ladder, buddy? We're leaning. So the 9.5 was pretty close. Going 9.5 up center line. Oh my God! Death trap. All right. I have to get the other ladder, but let's see if we can just lean this. A little bit better. So I drilled a hole, and this is why we start small. So my idea is to angle it out that way, because number one is it's farther from the stud, so it's farther from any potential combustibles. And number two, if we can center it on this metal here, the kit that it came with right here, we could trim this outside, because if we center that on the between the ridges, okay, we can trim this metal down so it sits between these, and then it's just a bead of caulking, metal roofing screws, and it'll be rock solid. So that to me makes the most sense. Trim this down, go between the valleys, and then caulk the ever-living piss out of it on the other side. And yeah, so I'm gonna get a tape. I'm gonna measure over. We're gonna get our 6-inch hole, and we could even trace this from the outside too and cut it that way. That makes the most sense. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna measure the distance from here to the center point. Mark that center point, and I could actually drill it from the outside. We'll do that, Bubba. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to clearance it, but putting that on, just tracing it. Can you grab the tape, babe?
Where is it?
Here, grab this. Tape's right on the deck. I just want to measure, see how big this is. It looks pretty good. I mean, I look centered. Reggie, don't drink that.
No, this is not food.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to just use the angle grinder or the small cutoff one. Maybe we run the air over here.
You can't do like a spade bit or something?
No. Yeah, so they say 6 inches, but it's 5-inch pipe. My circle, because I use the pencils, like 5 1/4.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said,
I'm
you can,
gonna,
like,
yeah,
clearance it out a little bit.
I know it's gonna be angled down. I'm gonna cut it there. We're gonna see what it looks like.
Okay.
Okay. So jigsaw, dull wood blade. There it is, right there. Than that. That is perfect, and it's long enough too. It makes it like, these are the weep holes, so those just stick out, just make it. But so we'll caulk all around this, and I'm gonna trim that trim plate, get it to drop right in. I'm glad we didn't do full 6-inch. This is better. So that's perfect. bending these tabs here to get it where it needs to go. That's perfect. Trimmed a little off the bottom so it clears the screw. I get it in that wee pole. So we want the tabs out. Start with that. Okay, I'm gonna run a bead and then run the screws. Okay, so I just sunk those in. I'm gonna do a bead all the way around now. And then I got these screw holes I gotta screw in. So we'll run screws into those. I already did a couple screws on the inside connecting the pipe, and then I'm gonna do one more connecting that to the tankless water heater. So you're getting there. So I did a bead on the inside. Got this trim plate. We're gonna we could throw a couple screws temp there, but we're not gonna drill these yet till we get a finished wall. And yeah, did the screws around it and around here. No, that looks good.
Right?
There it is. So I got touch-up paint. We could paint the white once it dries, but got the weep holes are still open. I did those screws around it. It's pitched down a little bit. So yeah, there it is.